All right. ICSC Vegas is coming around the corner. You might be a new agent or someone new in the industry that wants to go to ICSC Vegas, and you're trying to get your boss to approve for you to go. And you're wondering, hey, what's the best way to go about doing that? I actually got an email from a rent manager user conference that is extremely appropriate, and I wanted to share it because I think that this could be a good method for you to try out to be able to get that approval. So if you aren't familiar with Rent Manager, that is the operations, property management software and accounting software that we use. It competes with MRI and Yardi. We find it very good for our business, which is owning and operating shopping centers. If you want, I can do a video just on that sometime later on. But let me go over this prepared letter that the marketing guys at RMUC decided to send out for its users to see if some of its users can get their approval. So it goes like this. The letter is, hello, I'm writing to request approval to attend the 2025 Rent Manager User Conference in San Diego from October 5th to the 8th. RMUC 25 will include 3 days of seminars, hands-on training, and networking opportunities with more than 1,200 other attendees from across North America. The event offers 8 different educational programming tracks, which will enable me to tailor my experience to focus on blank in the blank industry. Maybe it's to focus on accounting in the mobile home industry, or it could be focus on property management in the shopping center industry. UC25 will give me an exclusive preview of new rent manager features and capabilities and grant me access to sessions to improve our business and utilization of the software. I'll also have the opportunity to meet one-on-one with industry experts, rent manager employees, and other property management professionals. Building these kind of relationships is an irreplaceable experience that can benefit our operations for years. I'm confident that attending the Rent Manager User Conference will help me better understand how to maximize our rent manager usage to make our business more efficient beyond the practical software skills I'll gain. I'm looking forward to networking with industry peers and learning how they're tackling today's property management challenges. Sincerely, Hugh Chen. Then they go and give this nice table of the breakdown of costs. So the airfare, I actually went to this, and I think my airfare was about $700. Transportation, all the taxis, I think was probably $200. And then this was a conference hotel. And when you added up all of the costs, I think I spent maybe $2,500 there. So that gives you a way of presenting it. So maybe I can have ChatGPT give me something for ICSC Vegas. All right, let me see what it did. All right. So by the way, this is real time. I just populated the prompt and I haven't even read it yet. So I'm gonna comment on it as we go. So the ICSC Las Vegas approval request version would be someone that wants to get approval to develop themselves professionally and to generate business at the ICSC Las Vegas 2026. The letter goes, hello, boss. I am writing to request your approval to attend the ICSC Las Vegas 2026, taking place from May 17th to the 19th. As the premier event in retail real estate industry, this conference is a critical opportunity for me to accelerate our current projects and generate new business for SAGLO companies. I would say this is definitely tailored depending on the type of business that you are. So we are owner operators. We don't do any third party stuff. And so for us, our primary focus would be to buy additional shopping centers across the eastern part of the United States, including the Midwest, and to lease up our current properties. I would also say from a professional development standpoint, they do a pretty good job in bringing in a lot of property technology companies to learn about what's out there, and they do some roundtable sessions and some panel discussions to really understand from the industry experts what's going on in the market. So I just maybe put a little bit of that in there. Strategic objectives. ICSC is more than a networking event. It is where the year's most significant deals are initiated. My focus for the 3-day conference will be landlord leasing and retailer relations. I intend to meet face-to-face with key decision makers from national and regional retailers. Establishing these personal connections now will streamline future deal making and allow me to pitch our current vacancies directly to the source. I'll just say you never want to go around the tenant rep broker. So assuming they don't have a tenant rep broker that is exclusive to them, then I would say that would be true. Otherwise, it still helps you get the deal done. Tenant rep networking. I will be targeting meetings with tenant rep brokers who act as gatekeepers for dozens of brands. Many have not heard the full story of our properties, and I want to ensure that our portfolio is top of mind for their upcoming requirements. Yeah, that's true. Look, telling the story is so important because you can just send an email, you can just send a flyer, but usually the story isn't told just off of a piece of paper. It's told from a person's mouth to the other person's ear, and also when you show them slides and things like that. So that's super important to really deliver that story. Market intelligence and PropTech. I will attend sessions on the latest industry trends and explore the innovation exchange to identify new technologies that can improve our leasing proficiencies and reporting. I think that's actually an understated, a low key, superpower of the event. I made a very conscious effort to really deep dive into property technology last year, and there is a crazy amount going on. Don't get left behind. Pure benchmarking. I plan to trade notes with other landlord leasing professionals to stay ahead of the market shifts and competitive strategies. So I think this is pretty good. I would say the most very experienced goers of this conference think that these 4 bullet points are for sure the main push and the focus. I would say that not every year you're getting a deal initiated at the conference. Sometimes you get the seed planted, but it is certainly a lot of these 4 bullet points here. Commitment to preparation. I understand that success at ICSC is determined by the work done before arriving in Vegas. I am committed for the rigorous 3-month lead up, which includes pre-scheduling a full calendar of booth meetings and hallway sessions. I think I prompted it wrong, but it's, you're meeting people either at their booth, and if they don't have a booth, you're meeting somewhere in the halls. And the sessions themselves, they happen in the session rooms or in that area that they set aside in the lobby area. Arranging targeted breakfasts and dinners with high-value prospects. Now, this is super important. I would say that you get a lot of relationship buildings at these dinners and breakfasts, and it's really hard to pin someone down to get them to commit to meet with you for 2 hours for dinner or an hour for breakfast. So this would be super, if you're able to execute and meet with really good people that you can do a lot of business with in this way, that can provide a lot of ROI. Ensuring my schedule is booked from 7:30 a.m. through the evening to maximize every hour on the ground. Look, this is the way I was trained under the Beth Azor Terra Nova School of ICSC, where I actually paid for myself to go to Vegas. I didn't, get even the chance to get reimbursed the first couple of years. And because I'm paying for myself, I really wanted to get something out of it. And, I'm hitting the floor. I'm hitting the breakfasts from 7:30 in the morning. Actually, we had a booth at Terra Nova, so I'd get to the convention center, I think at 7 or 6:45 in the morning to make sure I was there 30 minutes before it opened. And then you're not getting, in my 20s, I'm not getting back till midnight, 1 in the morning. So it is full on. That being said, I would say that your ROI significantly drops off after about 9 p.m. Because if it's open bar all day, it just gets a little nutty. Approximate investment breakdown. So I think you want to know what the investment is so you can know what kind of return that you need to generate to match the level of investment. The registration fee is $875. That's true if you're an ICSC member and you're pre-registering. If you're not pre-registering or if you're not an ICSC, it could be a couple $1,000s. Airfare, I checked, I think it's about $700 from Florida. Hotel accommodations is about $1,000. Now, you can go cheaper and split the room. That could certainly help lower the cost. So if it was 3 or 4 people splitting an Airbnb, this could be as low as $300 maybe. Transportation, $200. I'm just estimating you're taking an Uber or a rideshare from the airport to your hotel, but you can also, split that if you will. Meals and business entertainment, $300. Again, this is very variable. I tend to drink very little or not at all at ICSCs, and I really leverage the other events and parties and dinners that are going on at the same time. So I try to keep this to a very minimum. That could be very well be $100 or $50 if you schedule it right. So the total estimated cost is $3,000. I think that's a good ballpark figure nowadays. So now that you know that the investment's $3,000, that your boss has to or the company has to invest in this for you to go, then what is the return that you're going to provide to make it worth the $3,000 and then some, right? There's a return on investment. The cost of the conference is an investment in our pipeline, one signed LOI, or one new high quality tenant relationship resulting from this trip would more than cover the expenses. Upon my return, I will provide a detailed report on the meetings held, the leads generated, and the follow-up action plan for each. Thank you for considering this request to help grow our presence in the market. Sincerely, our name. So I think this bottom line is very good. I do like in the negotiation tactic, reducing it down to the incremental, just saying like, hey, if we get one deal out of this, it's going to cover the $3,000, which is absolutely true. I would say that the part that would be more impressive would be the actual tracking of the lead source, right? I can tell you that, you get a stack of cards, it goes into your CRM, and sometimes you get the LOI signed or you get a deal done, but it's not for 6 months or a year or maybe even 2 years later. And I think that having a system in place to really track those leads and track those seeds that you planted would be a huge differentiator. And if someone showed that to me, that would be super impressive. So if you're a boss and if you are the decision maker on this, let me know what you think of this letter in the comments below. If you are a person that is trying to get approval to go to this event or a similar event, let me know if you tried it and what the outcome was. I'm very curious to hear, so please pop that below. And thanks for watching. My name's Hugh Chen. I'm president of Saglo Companies. We own and operate 25 shopping centers across the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic. We're looking to buy property, and we have properties to lease. Thank you very much for listening.